All right, we're doing beef ribs again today. We're gonna do them a little bit different than last time. We're doing it out here on my Pit Boss vertical pellet smoker. I love using this thing. It just makes life so much easier when you don't have to worry about messing with the wood. You just dump in the pellets and you go. So it's set at 250 degrees today, and I've got that warming up, so let's take a look at our ribs. These are monsters. I got these from Grand Western Steaks. I bought 2 racks the last time and only cooked 1, so this is the second of those 2. I mean, just look at how big these things are. It's crazy. So if you look, you can see these 3 giant bones right here. And what we're gonna do different today is I'm actually gonna cut these all the way through, right down between the bones, so that we've got 3 giant ribs. Doing this for a couple of reasons. The first one is I want to get as much rub around this as possible this time, build up a real nice bark. But the other reason is take a look at that marbling. That is ridiculous. So that's a real good thing. Like before, I want to get this fat off the top so I can get as much rub as possible in there. So we're going to start trimming this. I just like to take my time on these expensive cuts. I don't want to go too deep and cut off meat. So you'll see me check as I go. I can go a little bit deeper here, a little bit deeper still. Okay. And then I'll just finish off the trim using the fat to kind of leverage. See, I went a little too far here. No big deal. Just cut some of that back. Okay, this fat's gonna go in a bag. I may or may not use this for something in the future, but that can go in the freezer. And now that I got that initial layer off, I can come in here and trim up these little bits. Want to get down to the meat. It's gonna help us get all that flavor from the rub to penetrate. There's no way it ever would have made it through that fat, so that's why we got to cut it off. All right, now that I've got them trimmed up, I'm going to hit these up with a couple of my favorite rubs. The first of which is this Heath Riles garlic jalapeno rub. So that's going to be my initial layer. I'm going to make sure I get the 3 sides. I'm not concerned about this bottom side, that's all fat. And I'm not going to trim that, so get everywhere else though. All the edges, sides, top. It's just a light dusting. I'm not going too heavy with this because we were going to put 2 other rubs on there. Same thing with this guy. And if you're worried about this jalapeno rub being too spicy, don't, because it's going to kind of get lost in all the other rubs, and by the time this cooks, it's not going to be spicy at all, but it will have a nice jalapeno flavor. Okay, next up I'm going to use this Pit Boss smoke infused rub. It's got a nice hickory flavor, garlic, onion, flakes, good texture for our bark. Go with the big end. Okay. Same thing, we're going to get all the sides. We're going to pat it in so it sticks. Okay. Use the board. All the stuff that fell off, you can get more of it on a nice thick layer of rub. These are giant pieces of meat, so they'll have no problem taking on all that rub. And then finally, I'm gonna use this Heath Riles Pecan rub. Really good stuff. Gonna give it nice flavor, nice color and flavor. So this will be the one I go the heaviest with. Okay. I'm gonna make sure this is completely covered. And it's so hot out here that I'm not gonna have to let these sit at all. It's just gonna start to sweat through like it already has with the other two rubs. See how quick that's sweating through? All right. All right, so those are ready to go. We're gonna put them in the smoker, like I said, 250 degrees today. The water pan is full, and I'm using the Pit Boss Competition Blend pellets. It's got a good blend of everything. It'll go really good with this beef. So let's get them in the smoker. All right. In they go. I've got it just about above center, maybe 2 notches above the center. Just to give you an idea of how big these are, this takes up almost the whole rack inside the smoker here. So let me get the door closed. Look at that smoke. So the door's closed. We're gonna let this go for probably 3 or 4 hours until it gets a real nice bark. And then I'll think about wrapping them. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do that this time or not. We're just gonna see how it goes. So I'll come back in about an hour so that you can see how they're looking. We are at the 1 hour mark. These ribs are starting to look really nice, taking out some good color. Let's take a look at them. Let's get it opened up. Oh yeah, look at that. Like I said, taking on a real good color. Starting to get some pullback from the bones already. And that rub is setting real nice. That's why I like cutting them like this. We're gonna get a nice bark on all the edges. And I think this might reduce our cook time a little bit. So that's it at the 1 hour mark. Let's get it closed back up. And we're just gonna let it go for another hour. We'll come back again and check on it and see where we're at then. All right, we're on hour number 2. They're looking even better. And I wanna check the temperature real quick. I'm not cooking to temperature, but I'm just curious, and I'm sure you guys are too. Let's see what it's at after 2 hours at 250 degrees. Let's get the door open. Oh yeah, nice color, bark. That bark is definitely set. I like that. Let's see what we're at temperature wise. .163 on that guy. .162 on that one. And 161 on that one. So let me get this closed. Technically at 165 degrees Fahrenheit, they say the meat's not going to take on any more smoke, so we do have some more time to go here. I'll probably come out in 45 minutes to an hour again just to see how they look, but right now we're just going to let it roll. It's now been 3 hours. We're ready to take these out of here. Let's take a look at them. Let's get this door open. Oh yeah, that's looking beautiful. Look at that bark all around. That's exactly what we wanted. Let's get them into this pan real quick. And now we can move on to the next step, which is we're gonna braise these, but real quick, let's take a temperature check, see where we're at. See what we're working with here. 167 on that guy. 169. So we're good, we're still within that range. So what I'm gonna do now, I've got 2 cups of beef broth that I'm gonna pour in here. You don't wanna pour it on top of the ribs because you'll risk washing off all that bark you work so hard on. Then I'm just gonna cover it up in some aluminum foil. Make sure we get a nice tight seal. And now I'm gonna put it back in the smoker. I've turned the temperature up to 300 degrees. We're gonna put it back in until these are fork tender. Might be an hour or 2 before that happens, so we'll come back when it's ready. So the beef ribs were covered in there for another 2 hours, giving us a total cook time of 5 hours. I just pulled them out, took the foil off. You guys have gotta see this. This is awesome. Okay, these are still piping hot, so I'm gonna use tongs, but look at how beautiful that turned out. Awesome color. All that beef stock helped braise it from underneath and steam it on the top. So you get that perfect pullback on the bones. All that beautiful juice down here. Trust me, that is not gonna go to waste. One thing you can do is just kind of drizzle some of that right over top while these rest. Like so. Oh, that's the good stuff. So let me just transfer these to a plate, make it look nice and pretty. Oh man, can't wait to dig into this. 5 hours is far too long to wait, but I know it's gonna be worth it, so let's get a bite of this thing. All right, I'm just gonna go after it, just like this. Here we go. Oh my God. Look at that. I mean, that literally just fell off. I'm drooling. Beef ribs is the one time I like it to fall off the bone. That's as tender as can be. Let me get one more bite. It's the best flavor. My favorite beef product by far is these beef dino ribs or beef plate ribs. So good. One more bite. I mean, look at that. It just can't explain it. If you've never had it, it's that good. It really is. Hey, I'll tell you what, if you like this Pit Boss video, you're gonna love one of these two right here. Check them out and I'll see you over there. So good.